My name is Marina Godovkina and I'm Area Director of Toastmasters Area B4. In several minutes we will start our contests for our area. And tonight we have a great opportunity for us all to be coached by very special people.
So many people think you're born lucky or you're not. You're born funny or you're not. You're born as a great presenter or you're not. And that's not the truth. If you have any dream, any hope, any desire, don't go to your family for inspiration. Unless they've literally accomplished what you want to accomplish. See, success for you if you're in a speech contest might not be winning. It might just be improving. It might just be in having confidence under the pressure. So don't say whether you get a trophy or not is a win or a loss. It's did you grow? Please welcome my coach, the great, the one only, Mark Brown.
Are you ready for a ride?
Yeah.
Good. Number one, what you must have in your speech, we believe, is a strong message. As in, why are you on the stage? Why are you on the platform? Why do you stand in the front at your club when it's your time to give a presentation? What is your reason for being there? And to make sure my message is clear, I ask myself 3 questions at the very end. What do I want the audience to think, to feel, or to do at the end of my presentation?
So the second thing when you're creating a new speech, number 1, figure out your message, but number 2, create a sticky phrase. A phrase that people are going to remember 3 days after you speak.
Must have, I believe, a connection with your audience. How can you connect with your audience? Anyone?
Eye contact.
Eye contact. How else?
Questions.
Ask questions. Good. One more thing.
Emotions.
Get responses, expressions. Energy, okay. All good answers. But here's what I'm looking for. When I say connect with the audience, find something in common with them to which you can relate.
Write this down under must avoid. Too much narration. And what that means is a lot of speakers tell stories in narration rather than dialogue. Narration is what happened last week, last month, last year. What you want, what you must have, if you write down, is the opposite of that is dialogue. You know, the moment where I told my parents I wanted to be a comedian. I said, Mom, Dad, I want to be a comedian. I was met by silence. Okay, that's dialogue. You were in the moment, you heard the conversation. When I first brought it to Mark, it was, so I went home to tell my parents I wanted to be a comedian, and they were speechless. Are you ready, excited for your contest? Yes, our contestants are like, don't give them any tips. Don't give them any tips. Too bad. Sorry. And by the way, if you see and if you get any ideas from us, don't change your speech. It's too late.
It is in the eyes of a lonely, crooked lady, in the dark, smelly underground of Svetoshna metro station, selling pencils. This woman is my life-defining moment. She wasn't the regular, I know it all, push everybody away babushka. No, she was a lonely, intelligent-looking lady who stood apart from everybody else in the light of one of the booths. And she was stretching the pencils with her shaking hand, looking directly into my eyes and asking to buy them. This woman is my life-defining moment. This woman taught me more than any other lesson I had during all those 5 years behind the desk. This woman taught me dignity, self-respect, perseverance, and the adamancy of spirit. But we too often forget that these are in-between steps that actually help us become better. These are something spontaneous Something coming out of the blue, something you don't expect, that makes us completely different. I could never think that that woman will change my life that much. I could never think that 10 years later, these pencils, the ones I bought from that woman and never used, would be the first ones to join my collection of pencils. Anything can be a life-defining moment. A extravagant passerby, and conversation you eavesdrop. Anything could be life-defining. So, you just need to watch out.
Can you guess what the most powerful word is?
Yes.
Exactly. This word is yes. Saying yes, we agree with a situation or confirm our decision. Hardly do we think about immense power this word has on our life. I decided to try it myself and carried out an experiment. I turned into a yes man for a week. And I was stupid enough to tell my brother about it. If you decided to carry out such an experiment, never tell anybody, especially my brother. And I couldn't get on the next trolley bus. I heard a pretty girl advertising a tour. One more yes, and I registered for a bus tour around Kiev and around music. Do you want to make $100 a day? Sure, 1 million times, yes. It turned out to be a Mongolian cosmetics. At the workshop, I learned a lot about Mongolia and how to cook a sheep. I decided to try Mongolian cosmetics on myself. My Friday morning started with a visit to the dermatologist. I also answered yes to the questions, are you kidding me? Are you an idiot? As you can see, it takes nothing to turn a monotonous and boring life into a string of cheerful and crazy events. Say yes more often and be open for all new opportunities.
Words always matters, especially for young people. Today, I want to talk to you about bullying. Bullying is activity of constant, aggressive, repeated behavior intended to humiliate a person, like emotionally, mentally, physically. You may refer to your memories and find a lot about bullying. You may ask your friends, and there are different stories. And different people react on bullying differently. Millions of kids are being bullied every day. Thousands of them are absent at school every month because they feel unsafe in their own schools. And what hurts me the most is that those bullish words means much more to poor kids than parents' love or support a friend or a teacher. They left alone in their world of hate, not being able to change it or stop it. They make to go every day through pain, humiliation and cruelty. We need to learn how to love each other and accept each other. We need to teach our kids to love other children and to treat them with respect. We are all valuable. Every single of us has a value.
Health myth, it's HIV/AIDS, incurable or even terminal disease. I think a lot of us believe it. But it's not true for more than 20 years already. Second myth, and it's also somehow common. In order to be secure, I have to avoid communication with HIV-infected people.
They have a friend.
Yeah, true. It's acceleration. You know, you could not get virus through hugs, handshake, or even kiss. And because we just believe in this wrong myth, we not communicate or try to avoid communication with HIV infected people. And third myth, HIV is not about me or my friends, it's about some prostitutes or endogenous drug users. Yeah. But I mentioned before, we have around 800,000 people who live with HIV. And 2/3 of them do not know about their status. In order to be secure and in order to decrease level of virus spreading in Ukraine, everybody needs to perform HIV test, especially young people.
2 weeks ago, I turned 32. Can you guess the favorite question of all my relatives and some Toastmasters?
Sure. When are you getting married?
Why are you still not married? I, just like Hoffman, also had 3 girls in my life to whom I declared love. That's why today we'll hear the tales of Berezhnoi. The first girl was called Asa. When we met, we were both 21. I was a poor teacher of English, and she was already a very good pianist. She played for top singers and worked at the National Opera. She was beautiful, successful, and independent. And from the first sight, she even seemed to like me. But then, I got into a deep friend zone. The Hoffman's muse accompanied him in all his adventures, and my muse helped me too. She always appears when I teach, when I write a speech, when I give a speech. And if I meet with someone, if I laugh for the 4th time, I will accept this girl with all her advantages and disadvantages. I will dedicate my whole self to her. I will appreciate each moment spent together, each smile, each kind look, each touch of hands, as if there is no tomorrow.
I am a girl. And I want a new dress. A dress is one of the most powerful and sacred tools that a woman has at her disposal. A dress can be a great asset in a woman's personal life. In dresses, we will look so much more feminine, tenderer, and that is exactly what is needed for a romantic situation. Secondly, a dress is great for a woman's professional life. Dresses are good for job interviews, for meetings, for regular work. Plus, a dress can take your career to incredible heights. And finally, dresses are pretty much appropriate attire for any kind of social situation. You know, Archimedes once said, "Give me a place to stand on, and I will move the earth." What did he know? I would like to rephrase. Give me the right dress to put on, and I will move the earth.
Now, as I see kids in school, they primarily use their iPads for entertainment. Prior to that, let me ask you a strange question. What conclusion I'm trying to make?
Any time can be top time, considered top time, and can be considered not.
Okay. Now, technology changed much of the world. First, the availability of computers and all the resources enables children to outperform those who, well, lived prior to that. Another thing, as technology has evolved,
Availability of technology is one thing, and the attitude towards learning changes the way what you can do. With the technology, with what's available, when you learn only with the right attitude, you can outperform, outsmart, and become top of the world for your kids when you give them the right tools, and define what will be the times for them, good or tough.
Can you imagine people who was in love, but now their relationship, their love, it just deteriorated to hate, to hell. They had great relationship, and now they have a torture. After a few years or many years of great experience, of passion, of life, love, of everything which is beautiful, flowers, kisses, people start hating each other. Can you tell me why?
Routine.
Loss of interest.
Yes. First of all, they stop having fun with each other. They lose interest. But the main answer is they think the love works in some way. But it doesn't work in this way. You cannot just obtain love and possess it forever, doing nothing. Love means passion. Love means treating each other with attention. If you kiss each other, if you spend time with each other, then you will have love. But if you don't invest in your relationship, they will die. If you don't pay attention to your love, it will die.